Welcome to Ark Survival Ascended Bootcamp, where we will be going over all the how-tos, where-tos, and what you will need to do's. In today's video, we're going to be going over blueprint running, proceeding from the last video where we hit level 100, crafted up some heavy turrets, so that way we can have our base nice and defended. But now we need to get better blueprints, so that way we can have better flak, get better saddles for our dinos, start raiding people, all that kind of good stuff, making ourselves more powerful. How do you get blueprints on the island? Well, they're all in caves. They're all in the cave loot drops. You can get some from the outside world drops, the beacons, if you will. Red beacons do have a chance. I believe yellow beacons also have a chance of giving you some flak, so various different saddles. But for the best quality, you're gonna want to be going into caves. Now, the best caves to run for blueprints are game. Stop lagging. I just want to show a couple different things, like that red with the ring. Very disappointing. See, just the outsides are just disappointing. You to get blueprints that are really nice, you want to go to the easy underwater cave because where am I? Oh, it's further down this way. Because this cave has the highest chance to give you nice rare gear. I'm lagging a lot. Higher quality gear than others. Another thing you can do with the easy underwater cave is you can swim around the outside of the map, around the outside of the map where the deep ocean is, and look for a Leopleurodon, which you can tame with honey. Just put honey in your bar, swim up to it, and feed it passively. Uh, It's a little bit dangerous in the easy underwater cave, and I believe that in ASA it's going to be even more dangerous because with the new engine, the AI for dinosaurs and fish kind alike are going to be revamped, increased, enhanced. Targeting is going to be better. They can, detect you through smell, sight, sound, all those things. So I'm going to go over how to keep us safe while going through the easy underwater cave to get our flak and saddle blueprints. How do you get here? Well, the PT is your fastest tame, so pretty much anywhere we go, we're going to have a PT to get us there over land, obviously. But can't bring the PT into the cave and can't cryo it. So what I do is I make myself a handy dandy little 1x1, put some beds in there for a decent spawn point, and then I just throw my PT in there. Now PTs fit in double doors, so it's a match made in heaven. It is a little bit difficult to get out. I don't know why it's not letting me walk around. Oh, the PT can't land. Alright, let's see if we can get out of here. There's definitely got to be a way. There we go. Alright, so the PT's technically in there. It's not landed, but it can't be hurt, and it's doing fine. See? Can't hurt my own PT. Alright, so now that we've arrived, we've got our decent kit. We're going to need scuba, right? We've got some drops from before. We're going to need at least 2 scuba tanks. One, you'll be fine with 1, but we want to bring 2 just in case. And then some scuba flippers, same thing, 2 just in case. If you just bring 1 and it breaks, you're kind of, a fish out of water, if you will. Different tames you can use to run this are the Ichthyosaurus. You can use a Megalodon, if that's all you got. You can use a Basilo, which is the safest and best option, but, kind of hard to tame. And the Tuso you can actually use. Also, they can go all the way through, but they get targeted pretty easily. You can get hit off by the Cyndaria, the jellyfishes. And we gotta watch out for the electric eels, the jellyfish. There's Mosa. There's sharks as well. So in the early game, now you technically can run through this cave with just your scuba and flippers. Now every time you have scuba and flippers, you want to bring a chair with you just in case, because the chair is what's gonna be able to get you stam if you run out of stam. Now we're not gonna be able to do movement speed, so let's do some of that. And so how do you tame an Ichthyosaurus? Well, you can use raw mutton, raw prime meat, or raw meat. And let's see here. Put it in your hotbar. Perfect. So it's a passive tame. Let's see if we can go find one real quick. Yep, see there's one right there. You just get close to it. They really like you, and then you feed it. And then you wait to feed it again. With scuba flippers, I should be a little bit faster than the Megalodon. So if you're coming out here without a tame, to tame your first ichthy, you know, just stay safe from the shark. Now the only weapon you can use is you can use a harpoon gun with a javelin. That is a possibility, but in early game you're probably just gonna have a crossbow with stone arrows, honestly, because you can't shoot guns, you can't use any other kind of pull bow. So that's how you tame the ichthyosaurus. How do you tame a megalodon? So you have to knock it out and then feed it. And it also doesn't want fish. It wants meat. It wants mutton, raw prime meat, or raw meat. And they love to sleep, so you don't really have to worry about feeding it often, or keeping it asleep with narco berries. Just knock it out, and you don't have to trap it or anything because you're a little bit faster than a shark with your flippers. So just swim with it, knock it out with a crossbow and trank arrows. Once it's asleep, feed it. It'll tame right up. With a bassie, it's kind of like an ichthyosaurus. You just swim up to it, tap E to feed it. But there's a bunch of mantas around it. So you have to find a way to kill those mantas before you can tame it, because the mantas are faster than you and they'll kill you as soon as you feed it. So there's a bassie here. Looks like we got lucky. I don't see any manta army with it. So that's lucky for us. Looks like I've already found it and fed it before. So boom, you just feed it. Wait for it to get hungry again, feed it again. Easy enough tame. Obviously mutton's going to be a lot faster. Prime meat's going to be a lot faster. But sheep are kind of hard to find. Now with a Tuso, in order to tame a Tuso, you first have to tame an ichthy. Because the Tuso is going to automatically aggro onto you. It's going to pick the ichthy. As soon as it picks the ichthy, you got to have black pearls as well. And the only way to get black pearls is by farming trilobites and the Tusos themselves. So you kill yourself enough trilobites, get enough black pearls, put that in your hotbar, swim up to the Tuso. Once the Tuso picks your ichthy, that's weird. Okay. Once the Tuso picks the ichthy, just swim right up to it with black pearls in your last bar, right up to the beak, spamming E until you feed the black pearls to it. Alright, so we've gone over all the tames and all the way that you can tame them in order to run this cave. So, let's run it. I've got my scuba. Let's get out of GCM mode. And we're on the road again. Now this is a level 70 tamed ichthy, and I'm going to want to have the weight higher than half of my weight. So I've said this in a lot of different videos. I'm sure those who watch the videos often are tired of hearing it, but you always want to make sure your actual weight is 50% or lower than your max weight, so that way you're not losing any speed. Alright, we're in easy underwater. Map doesn't want to load. It's in this vicinity, about 54, 12, 55, 56, 12. Like I said, there's mosas, there's jellyfish. Now jellyfish will kill you real quick. Mosas in Ace, Ark Survival Evolved, the mosas don't seem to really be able to target you that well. They kind of just stare at you, or they don't do anything. Oh, this one's on me right away. But there's a drop right here that usually spawns. I'm gonna show you all the drops. Now the ichthy should be fast enough to get out of there. So I should be alright. There's another drop that spawns right here. There's a break in the wall right here. There's another chance for drops to spawn down this way. Watch out for the jellyfish. Watch out for the electric eels as well. Everything aggroes onto you, even mantas in here. So you really got to be careful. right in this middle part is where sometimes you'll get a drop. Can't miss it, right there. Oh, I might lose my Ichthy to Mantas. Probably gonna lose it. Alright, well, imagine I didn't jump off it. Because I wouldn't have if I can see that there's no drop there, so I would have kept going. There's a drop that you can spawn right here. Going deeper in. There's a drop that spawns behind these ruins, and there's also a note. And then swimming your Ichthy. There we go. Drop that spawns right here. It's a shame that's not a blueprint. That's a shame. Alpha Mosas do spawn in here quite often. It's actually a good place if they do have chibis on release to level up your chibi. Isn't easy underwater. Sometimes there's a drop. Jeez, lagging a lot. A drop right here. Sometimes there's a drop right here. Sometimes there's a loot crate right up here. And then in this room, there's a chance for a loot crate to be right about here. Chance for a loot crate to be over in this corner. And then this is where you got the artifact right here. So I don't know if any is going to be a thing in Ark Survival Ascended, but I've got one on right now. That's why the lighting all looks the same. If you didn't have an any on, this place is kind of dark, and you could very, very easily see the drops through the water because they'll be glowing. The last spot to note that a drop could spawn is right here. And there's a note right here. And then there's a note back at the beginning of this. Right here. So, what I do is I come up here, park the Ichthy, run through here looking for any juicy loot drops. I don't see anything, I run back, hop back on the Ichthy, come down here, look for this drop that might spawn here, look for the drop that might spawn here, park the Ichthy, look for the drop that might spawn here. I mean, you can see this one from over here. So when you come up here to look and then run back to grab your Ichthy, look for over there. If it's not there, then you don't need to leave your Ichthy because it probably will die. So swim here, look at that. Swim over here, look for that. Nothing, and you can just leave. Easy Underwater has a good chance for saddle blueprints and for flak armor blueprints. So very valuable blueprints. You can get shotgun BPs. I think that's about it. You're not going to get sniper. If you increase the crate quality by finding a Leo Pleurodon. Another note is that if you run this with 2 people and you do tame a Leo Pleurodon, the one person should have the buff and the second person should not. And what you do is the first person goes up to the crate, looks into it to see if there's anything good. They can take at least one item, but don't despawn it. Then the second person with the buff can go up to the crate and actually re-rolls what's inside the crate. And then from there you pretty much just have to take what you got. Or popcorn it. So that is another method of doing the easy underwater cave with one person having a Leo Pleurodon and the other person not. Just remember, if you have the buff, stay away from the crate until the person that doesn't have the buff, decides to take it or decides to re-roll. Alright, so how are you going to get your Giga Saddle BPs, your Quest Platform BPs, fabricated sniper rifles? There's also other saddles that you can get as well, like the Stego I got from the inside of Ice Cave. So the back of Ice Cave is actually the best spot to get those high-end saddle BPs. Now, I'm not going to really talk about how to run the Ice Cave. It's just going to take like 2,000 bullets, a full 6-man tribe, lots of foundations, double door frames, a ton of sleeping bags, and you're basically just going to spend a good, few hours making your way through this cave safely. Because there's no way to really get through this cave by just rushing it. You're never going to be able to just run through it because the Perlovias stun you. Everything's too faster than you. You can't bring any dinos. So here we go, right off the bat. Nothing too spectacular. So I believe there's about 2 or 3 drop locations in each room. So right there you saw in the beginning. You come down the ramp here. That's just a bunch of crystal spawn. More crystal. You can actually put crop plots down in this back end. I'm in GCM mode, still getting stunned by Perlovia. Alright, bear with me. While you're making your way through this cave, you're going to want to make sure you check this spot right here. Could be a drop there. In single player, there's not a lot of drop spawns. There seems to be like 1 per cave instead of like 3, like on official. I know there's one that spawns right here. Alright, and then you go through this tunnel. Look at that, we got another spawn right there. In the tunnel. More garbage. You really want to make it to the end, because at the end is where you get the red crate, and the red crate is what's going to give you all that nice Giga Quetz platform type saddles. I believe Rhinio, Karcha. Now, I haven't really seen any drops in this room, so I think this room might be linked with the tunnel. But right here is your guaranteed red drop every single time. This bad boy will be here. Decent crossbow, and there's your Giga, so imagine that's a BP. Not too bad. Down here, there could be a drop. This drop is usually trash, right here in the water. Get your artifact back here. Couldn't dodge the Perlovia. But you got your artifact back there. I don't think I've ever seen a drop spawn back there. But if you are able to make it through the ice cave, make sure you always get that red drop right there. Because that's how you're going to get your best saddles. And if you leave the area, it should respawn relatively quickly. If nobody's farming it in like 5 or 30 minutes, it should respawn. So, what you're probably going to want to do is, it'll spawn no matter what you place here for like foundations or buildings. So you probably can just put a spawn box like right next to it, with a vault or something, so you can grab it, put it in the vault, and then leave. If you ever do, because running this ice cave just for the drops is, kind of insane. So it would be a better idea to run through the cave, get a spawn bed down, farm that loot crate specifically quite a bit, and then when you run through the cave again to pick up your loot crates, you've got more of a haul, ready for you, ready for your efforts. There are obviously other caves that you can run for drops. The hard underwater cave is almost impossible to complete. You're gonna need a couple of high-level imprinted and leveled bassies, because there's a million eel, a million sharks, lots of melee to kill everything off of you, decent health. There's the Hunter Cave that's runnable, the Pack Cave's got some drops, the Lava Cave's got some drops. I'm not going to take you through all of them because those are all kind of like mid-tier rarity type crates. The Swamp Cave used to be a spot where people could go. It's not really runnable anymore since there's no cryopods. But that pretty much covers it. Alright, so, stick to easy underwater. Hopefully you get a flak BP, decent saddle BP. Whenever, the ice cave run is ready to be done by your tribe, go ahead and rock that out. Go back to my starting point. And that's all I've got for you guys. That is the Island BP farm. Peace.